Tonight on SA Today, the Student Association Academic Affairs representatives tell us about a new campus initiative, plus several shootings in the Syracuse area recently. All have the details. But first, it's New York Primary Day. Josh Bazan will join us live from one of the polling stations on campus. I'm Johnny Oliver. SA Today starts right now. It's a big day for New York State today. Voters are heading to the polls to cast their vote in the state's presidential primary. CitrusTV's Josh Bazan joins us now from one of the places you can vote right here on campus. Josh?
That's right, Johnny. We're here outside Byrd Library. It's one of the polling sites that SU students have been voting at all day long. Both the Democrats and the Republicans are holding their presidential primary in New York State today. And in New York, it's a closed primary. That's a little bit different than how some other states do it. But what you need to know is if you're not registered with a political party, you can't participate in the voting today. The frontrunners, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, are looking to win big here in New York to try and get one step closer to sealing up their party's nomination. Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side wants to just keep his momentum going. He's won 8 of the last 9 states. As for Ted Cruz and John Kasich on the Republican side, they're just trying to do everything they can to make sure Donald Trump doesn't get the delegates he needs to seal up that nomination before the convention this summer. Well, a lot of students came out to vote today. We caught up with some of them to hear what they were looking for in a candidate.
He can be a positive change for our country. There's a lot of negativity in this country, and he can turn it around and make everyone more equal.
So I think we need someone who is not a politician because there's a lot of issues with corruption with our politicians, and I think he will bring us away from that within our government.
I guess it came down to who I felt would carry Obama's legacy the best.
And the voting's not over yet. You can see a website across the bottom of your screen. You can go to that to figure out where exactly your polling location is. The polls are open until 9 o'clock tonight. And there's 4 locations that most SU students will be going to cast their vote. If you live on West Campus or Mount Olympus, you'll be going to the Toomey Abbott Towers. If you live on Euclid or the University neighborhood, Ed Smith Elementary is your polling location. As for those living on South Campus, you can go to the Drumlins Country Club. And for the rest of the students living on Main and north of campus, you can vote right here at Byrd. Johnny?
Thanks, Josh. Many SU students can take advantage of free transportation to polling locations for the New York primary. A van is running continuously from South Campus to the Drumlins Country Club. Students who live on South or in off-campus housing can head to the Goldstein Student Center on South Campus to be picked up. Transportation will be available until the polls close at 9. End of the semester topics were discussed at last night's Student Association meeting. The SU Abroad Recruitment Specialist explained that the office is trying to increase the number of abroad programs that target STEM students. Members also discussed the recent approval of the Orange Education Program, which has been set forth by the SA Academic Affairs Committee. More on that later tonight. And the approval of a Student Director of Diversity Affairs was also discussed. The Blackstone Launchpad in Byrd Library is officially open. The community gathered today for the grand opening. The ribbon-cutting ceremony took place on the first floor of Byrd between 1 and 2 p.m. Chancellor Kent Syverud helped kick off the big event alongside students who have been working hard with the university to promote their businesses.
So we are a team of hip millennial kids. We make explainer videos for small businesses and startups to really document and explain the awesome ideas of people that are passionate about what they do and make their ideas into reality by pursuing them as full-time businesses.
The beautiful spring weather came just in time for the 3rd annual Spring Wing Festival. The event, hosted by Habitat for Humanity, kicked off at noon and ended around 4 p.m. Students had the chance to listen to live music while buying ice cream and a variety of flavored wings. The festival also included a bounce house and puppies in the park.
In years past, it's been really, really good. People from all over the Syracuse community come to show support. There's also a wing-eating competition. That always brings a lot of people too. And then Gannon's Ice Cream and different vendors will come and either donate some of their proceeds or all of them.
The SU Army ROTC is celebrating its 100th anniversary. On Friday, ROTC members will head to the Panache Lounge of the Shine Student Center for a ceremony at 1 p.m. But the fun doesn't stop there because the ROTC program will be hosting a 5K run on Saturday, April 23rd at 8 a.m. Veterans, cadets, and the local community are encouraged to attend the event that will begin outside of Shine. The Student Association recently approved the Orange Education program set forth by the SA Academic Affairs Committee. I'm now joined by Drew Jacobson, who is a member of the Academic Affairs Committee. Drew, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so my first question is, could you tell me about the new initiative?
Absolutely. It's brand new, as you said. What it pretty much is upperclassmen lecturers teaching students in the first year foreign programs, mainly in the arts and sciences school, about subjects that usually aren't taught in the classroom setting. Okay. This can range from things like Shakespeare in the local area to like the strategies of risk. So,
what's the first step of the initiative?
The first way to get involved is to fill out the survey that's up right now. I'm just going to ask a few questions about just what you want to do and how you hope to accomplish it. Right now we have a pilot program planned for the fall, so if you do fill out the survey, you will get a response back very quickly because we do want to get this done very quickly.
Okay, so what would you like to see at the end of the initiative? What's the end goal of it?
Really, we just want to revamp the first year foreign programs across the university. They're very not well liked, and we feel that this can energize them a lot and make students much more engaged with first year forum and their first year experience at Syracuse. All
right, well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today, Drew.
Thank you.
To stay updated with what's happening within the Student Association, make sure to follow SA at SU on Twitter. After the break, I'll have this week's full weather forecast, plus details on a shooting in the north side of Syracuse. Stay with us.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
So who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Today we saw some more warm temperatures with clear skies and highs in the upper 50s for most of the day. But with some clouds and winds in the upper teens during the morning, felt more like the lower to mid 40s. Clear skies are expected to continue throughout the night into tomorrow morning. Humidity will increase throughout the night, reaching up to 79% humidity, and winds will die down to about 4 miles per hour. Tomorrow we've got more sunny skies and highs up to 60 degrees. Looking at our 5-day forecast, enjoy the high of 72 degrees on Thursday because temperatures will start to drop down a little towards the tail end of the week. Some rain is expected on Friday, and over the weekend we are looking at partly cloudy skies with some humidity. Temperatures will drop back down to the 50s over the weekend after an increase earlier in the week. Syracuse police are investigating a homicide in North Syracuse. Late last night, officers were dispatched to the 200th block of Ash Street after reports of shots being fired. Police located a male in his 20s who was eventually pronounced dead at the scene from a gunshot wound. The victim's name is being withheld until his family is contacted. Police have no suspect information at the time and will continue their investigation. Syracuse police are also responded to a shooting complaint last night at Stewart Court. They found a 15-year-old male suffering from a gunshot wound to his back. Police transferred the victim to Upstate University Hospital, where he's currently in serious condition but expected to survive. The district has announced the Central Square School District's superintendent will retire next month. Joseph Menard was suspended last week after being charged with driving while intoxicated. Police say the 58-year-old crashed into a tree in Oswego County and was treated for facial injuries. The district says the Board of Education and Menard settled on a retirement agreement that would go into effect on May 31st. When we come back, one last look at today's weather, and I'll tell you what's coming up next on the Orange Television Network. We'll be right back.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Coming up next on the Orange Television Network, stick around for Sports on the Quarter, followed by Orange Press Pass at 6:30. Then catch Orange Zest at 7 for all of your entertainment news, followed by Talking Points at 7:30. Tomorrow will remain sunny with temperatures in the low to mid-60s. Wind speeds will decrease compared to the high ones today, but the humidity will increase overnight. Temperatures will remain between the 50s and 60s throughout the rest of the week. Expect rain on Thursday and Friday, but the sun will come back out over the weekend. Now I'm joined by Emily Wood with what's coming up next on Sports on the Quarter.
Yeah, Johnny, we have both the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, so we'll keep you updated on what's going on in there. But we also have discussed some Syracuse basketball players and what's happening with them after their season, heading into maybe some professional play.
All right, so you mentioned the NHL playoffs. Have you been watching many of the games lately? What have you thought of them so far?
Yeah, I think the NHL playoffs is as exciting as you can ask for. Every series except for maybe the Caps, they're sweeping 3-0 right now, has been very competitive. You got 2-1, 1-1, a lot of very close matchups.
And those Flyers fans couldn't believe that they threw the wristbands with the owner's name out onto the ice.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough series for the Flyers, but the Caps are a good team, and I've seen teams come back from 3-0.
Yep. And what have you watched any of the NBA playoffs?
Yeah, you got the Spurs, you got dominating. Of course, everyone's focused on the Warriors and their incredible season. It looks like they have a great shot to make it to the finals, but you never know. Any team's got a chance. It's not quite as competitive as the NHL playoffs, but there's still some good matchups for them.
Yeah, and now Steph Curry with his ankle injured, and the Warriors aren't quite showing their hand as to how serious it is, so we'll see what their chances are moving on in the playoffs. Thanks for coming on today, Emily.
Thank you.
And that's all for tonight on SA Today. Make sure to follow CitrusTV News to stay updated with what's happening on campus. I'm Johnny Oliver. Have a great night, Syracuse, and make sure to stick around for Sports on the Quarter.
How can I help